Hey people of YouTube, my name is NFS Beast, and today I want to talk to y'all on why Need for Speed 2015 was somewhat of a good game, you know? It wasn't the worst, wasn't the best, it was a mixed bag, you know? And let's get started, shall we? So if you all know, Need for Speed 2015 was met with mixed reception. It wasn't really the type of game that an underground fanatic would consider because of the lack of customization for a lot of cars, which was prevalent in like Underground and Underground 2. But it was a really awesome game, nevertheless, because of how it tied with the Speed Hunters and the car culture, and also as well as that, it was like a one step in the right direction for the current fan base of Need for Speed. If you know me, I like both the old Need for Speed games and the new Need for Speed games. Well, some of the new Need for Speed games, but I like the old Need for Speed games. Like, even before Underground, I loved those games as well. They were really nostalgic and really made me cry whenever I think about them. But Need for Speed 2015 was like the result of Underground and Most Wanted, Carbon. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it at all. I mean, I have my reasons, you know. Need for Speed 2015 was not a bad game. It wasn't good either. Its handling was not that good. The grip section was like Pro Street or something. But it had really amazing graphics, really good story. Yeah, even though the characters did talk in stereotypical street slang that what you'd expect from a hipster, and the customization was somewhat good, not like Need for Speed No Limits, which I don't understand why No Limits had higher customization than Need for Speed 2015, but Need for Speed 2015 had more cars, and it was less of a cheat attempt, you know, to take all your money. Need for Speed No Limits basically had a lot of limits, and Need for Speed 2015, it was basically Ghost Games' attempt to make an Underground 3. Well, not even though Need for Speed 2015 was not an explicit sequel to Underground 3. It felt like one, and it introduced me to many cool new aftermarket brands that I didn't know of before, like RWB, Rocket Bunny, 1552. Yeah, list goes on for a reasonable amount. And as well as that, there's some cool new people that I found out, like Motohoshi-san, who I intend to race someday, and Risky Devil, which by the way live in Chicago, and I live near Chicago, and Magnus Walker, who has really good taste in Porsches. Ken Block, who's like a skilled driver, really good driver, with Vaughn Gitting Jr. But, you know, honestly, the police were the worst since they were the worst since sort of Need for Speed Rivals, but it's not the best. Not, but I don't know how to say it, but Need for Speed 2015 was more of an underground oriented game than to have police, you know. I wish there were hypercars in the game. I wish there were Bugatti Veyrons, Koenigsegg Aguiras, GTA Españols, Saline S7s, but you know, I have to wait until or we have to wait until another game. Because personally though, I'd love to see a shootout between a high-powered Nissan Skyline and a Salina 7, and vice versa with a Bugatti Veyron versus a Mazda RX-7 to see who would win. And Need for Speed 2015 also had like some really cool new cars that I never driven before in any racing game, like the Ford Hot Rods and the Beck Customs F132. They were really sick cars, in a good way too. Really amazing, really beautiful. I just don't understand how Ghost Games, you know, they wouldn't like they would not like bring a lot of customization parts to Need for Speed 2015, while No Limits had a really high amount of customization. It makes no sense. How did No Limits have more customization than 2015? Even if they are the same, I mean not same, but different companies. Why not Ghost Games look into No Limits and see the amount of customization? Nevertheless, I'm not saying that Need for Speed 2015 is the best game ever. It's not. And everyone should know that it's not the best Need for Speed game ever. Because there were other games that executed the car culture and the underground vibe in a more better way in the past. I can tell this because of the gameplays of like past Need for Speed games and how they were more entertaining, and yeah, also as well as that, excuse me, Need for Speed 2015 was online focused, you know, online only. It's something nonsense, you know. Everyone should know that online only racing games are not worth it. The whole DRM thing is just crap, and it's just how it is, you know. Online only is good for like GTA Online, good for Call of Duty, Battlefield, but for a racing game, there's no excuse to put it in there. It makes no sense that you would want to place an online only DRM in a racing game. But nevertheless, Need for Speed 2015, it was somewhat nostalgic because seeing the canyons on the road, like on the canyon side, was really beautiful, really nostalgic. It reminded me of Carbon, Underground 2. Yeah. I certainly am going to miss Need for Speed Carbon and Underground 2. And the industrial area reminded me of Need for Speed Most Wanted, of the city in Need for Speed 2015. It reminded me of Need for Speed Most Wanted City. It was really beautiful. And the city itself reminded me of Need for Speed Underground. Yeah. I don't understand though how Need for Speed No Limits has hypercars and Need for Speed 2015 doesn't. I don't quite understand that. But still, Need for Speed 2015 did have a lot more of what the tuner fans wanted, while Need for Speed No Limits had more of what both sides of the fans wanted. As I said numerous times before, if you're going to say that Need for Speed 2015 is the best Need for Speed game, you're only lying to yourself. it's just I don't know. It seems like it's my opinion, you know, but it's just logical that if you ever played Need for Speed 2000, I mean, if you ever played Need for Speed 2015, it's like Need for Speed Rivals, but with an underground feel to it. And excuse me. You should have known that Need for Speed Underground and Most Wanted 2005 and Carbon, yeah, they all had a better way of executing of what Need for Speed 2015 was going to be. Personally, though, I half hate Need for Speed 2015 and I half like it. Need for Speed 2015, it was okay. It's like Underground. It's like Underground 2, but updated for the future, and it has Ferraris and other supercars. It's like Carbon as well. Yeah. It's just sad to see that like so many factors made this game mixed, and Need for Speed 2015 is not worth playing anymore, considering that there's now going to be Forza Horizon 3, and that's from a rival company. It has more cars, more content, more customizations. Heck, it even has a Rocket Bunny BMW E46, while Need for Speed 2015 didn't have it. I don't understand why. Why, Ghost Games? Why? It makes no sense. But either than that, Need for Speed 2015, it was just nostalgic, you know. That's a key thing. Is nostalgic. Many people are going to miss Need for Speed Carbon, Underground 2, and Most Wanted. People are going to miss those games. People are going to miss how you could customize endless amounts of your vehicle. Yeah, I'm going to miss Autosculpt. It was amazing. Amazing feature in Need for Speed Carbon, Pro Street, and Undercover. Yeah, I can't believe, you know, how Need for Speed 2015 doesn't have them, like, in the fictional EA parts category. They should have brought back that body kit for the... I forgot what type of car it was. I forgot the body kit actually, but nevertheless, there were some cars that returned from, like, oh yeah, the Toyota Corolla AE86. It should have had that body kit from Underground 2. I don't know which one, but they were really beautiful. But nevertheless, Need for Speed 2015 is an okay game. Not the best, not the worst. It's a step in what is going to be the right direction for the fan base, the current fan base. Even though the older ones like me, I mean, I like both Need for Speed games. It's just that, you know, I like both Need for Speed generations, the old and new. And Need for Speed 2015 is going to preview us the better and more detailed Need for Speed games in the future. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and have a nice one. Peace out.